been doing this for so long, and I too was like, yeah, I don't know about this. There will definitely be moments that will test your patience, your relationships, your personal mindset, and just buckle in, strap in for the ride, because it is a memorable one. Hello, my friends. If you are a bride-to-be watching this, congratulations on your engagement. I hope you're feeling all of the best vibes and energy right now settling into your bridal experience. And as much as it can be exciting, it's also very normal to be overwhelmed by all of the changes and emotions there are to process. If you haven't met me before, hi, I'm Rucci. I have been an event specialist for the last 10 years as a wedding planner and coordinator, as well as a hair and makeup artist. And I too have been a bride myself. So speaking to both sides of the wedding industry and experience, I've compiled a short list of things that I personally found very helpful to keep top of mind throughout my experience, to really help me transition from the vendor mindset to the bride mindset, and also just to really help soak in everything that was happening. These are not necessarily in any particular order, and you may find some overlaps as well, but these are just some things that I found to be most helpful. And of course, I can go on and on and on, so let me know if you want a part 2. There are so many moments that are just not going to come back, and they're so unique to the whole bridal experience. There is a ton on the way for you, so I want to make sure that we make this experience the best for you. So let's just get into it. So first and foremost, I would say you really need to prioritize doing what is authentic to you. You need to take in your personal preferences, considerations, the things that you really enjoy. It's really important to highlight who you and your partner are, as well as the things you like to do as individuals and a couple, and really let those elements shine in your wedding celebrations. And with social media taking the front seat and the rise of wedding content online, there is almost like an innate focus on how to incorporate trends or popularize things from social media into your big day. And while that is totally okay, it's again really important to bring it back to the roots of who you are and who you and your partner are. Don't feel pressured to incorporate trends or ways to do things that maybe you've seen through other wedding content creators or people sharing their personal wedding experiences into your own wedding, because it might not feel the most aligned. And just because someone has done something a certain way doesn't mean you have to do it that way too. We've almost been subconsciously wired into thinking that there is a right way to do a wedding, and obviously depending on traditions and rituals and all of that, there are certain ways that have been maybe a bit more prioritized because they flow a little bit better. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go that same route. If there are elements that would be better changed or removed altogether to represent you and your partner and your families better, that is totally okay. There is no wedding police out there that will tell you exactly how to do things or if you should do things a certain way. So it's really, really important to, again, make your wedding representative of who you and your partner are, because after all, that is what the wedding is for, to celebrate you. Like for myself, I did not ever feel drawn to the idea of having like a bridal shower or a bachelorette. My family planned a really special, intentional, and very me bridal day, so we spent it all together. My now husband was there too. So getting to celebrate my experience as a bride in a way that felt really true, authentic, and representative of the things that I value and the things that I enjoy just could not have been a better way to really help me embrace bridal mode. Like I said, there is no right or wrong way to do it. Of course, as we know, a lot of the time weddings can bring in a lot of opinions, which I will get to in a second. Ultimately, no one's opinion really trumps yours and your partner's. If you want to do something, please go for it. And if you don't worry about it. At the end of the day, this day and these celebrations are for you. The next point would be to really lead with love. So looping back to the point on opinions, people will find it almost necessary to give you an opinion the second they find you are engaged or getting married and planning a wedding. A lot of people have opinions that they feel compelled and really pushed to share. Allow them to. Let it go in through one ear, out through the other if it's not something that aligns with you. The best way that I have found to process these things and to avoid them getting to me is to remember that people are doing it from a place of love. They're speaking from a place of good intention. They are simply excited by the idea of you getting married, and being able to be involved in some way is something that they're just hoping for, simply because they appreciate, celebrate, and love you. It's also nice to have different perspectives at times, because they may address things that maybe you didn't consider, so that can also be a plus. And also, a lot of people are experiencing this for the very first time. So not only are we experiencing life as a whole in the current bodies that we're in, in for the very first time, but also the idea, journey, path, experience of a wedding and all that comes with it can be a new experience for many people. Like yourself, your family members, your friends have not gotten to experience something like this before, so they're just so excited and also trying to navigate this alongside you in the best way possible. Some may slip up, some may say things that don't necessarily sit right with you, and it's super important to just let things go, because at the end of the day, it is all rooted in love. This is all supposed to be a celebration of love. So this experience overall should be led with love. Everything about a wedding is, again, just meant to celebrate love, celebrate union, companionship, togetherness, whether that's between you and your partner, the joining of your families, or just having all of your favorite people under one roof for one big celebration. It is all about love. So it's really important to focus on the silver linings along the way. There are going to be a number of nitty-gritty tasks that I'm sure you don't necessarily want to do and plan for, but they're all part of the process. And if you lead with love, see the silver linings in things, and understand that all of these little pieces will come together to make one beautiful event and paint one beautiful picture, that will make your experience so much more enjoyable and really allow you to cherish all of the experiences and moments as a bride. Now, something a little bit more technical and logistics focused is to be as prepared as possible, especially if you are someone who does consume social media content, scrolls on Pinterest, does all those kinds of things. There are so many ideas out there. Even if you're someone who has just gone to a lot of events over the years, or even more recently, and you've kind of pulled ideas from different places, you can get really overwhelmed and almost overstimulated by the immense amount of choice and options there are out there. So I personally find some of the best ways to be as prepared as possible when it comes to sitting down and speaking to vendors, or also just helping to get grounded in your own mind and being with what you actually want, is to create mood boards, whether it's around your decor or your hair and makeup or your outfits for the different events. It is really, really helpful to essentially have a visual representation of the things that you're hoping for. You can help collect your thoughts and present them to your vendors to help them execute an idea that is as close to your vision as possible. This gives you a good baseline to help manage your expectations, as well as provide those to your vendors so they know exactly what is needed of them to make your day a success. Also, over the months, you will notice there are a lot of things that will come up that either you have to do that have deadlines, or even just things that you need a lot closer to the big days, the things that you need to take to the venue, the things that you need to pack in your overnight bag. All of these things can be noted down well in advance. You don't need to wait till the final days to start getting things in order. Making checklists along the way will again help you stay grounded and focused and on top of all your tasks and deadlines coming up. It'll also ensure that as the stress and emotions are at their highest days before the wedding, you are not forgetting anything because you've gotten all your ducks in a row well in advance. As a wedding vendor myself, I offer a lot of checklists to my clients, whether that's on the planning and coordination side, so giving them a checklist of things month by month as to what they should be expecting to do for their vendors, or again on the hair and makeup side to again prep for their appointments as best as possible. If you are curious about any of that, check the description down below. I have more details down there for you, but let's get into the next point. Once you have an idea of what it is that you want, it is really important to be able to delegate. For a lot of people like myself who really like to do as much as possible on their own, whether that's because you're a type A person and you feel like you can't trust anyone with these big wedding decisions, or whether that's because you don't want to burden people and essentially just take on as much as possible and keep it in your court. That is totally okay. That is totally normal, and it happens a lot. But like I said, especially if you're not exposed to weddings, there are a ton of little tasks that can come up, and a lot of the time you don't necessarily need to be as involved in them as the bride as you think. You can definitely pass off tasks to people that you find are responsible, trustworthy, and would love to be a part of your day. Because on the flip side, your loved ones are also there to support you and help you in whatever way possible, and they're often waiting for you to tell them how they can help so that they don't overstimulate you. So reach out to those that are ready and happy to support, whether that's your wedding coordinator, your friends, your family, your bridal party, whoever it may be. The cliche, "it takes a village," is a cliche for a reason. And in the case that you are someone who might be a little bit more type A and more particular, work to establish a happy medium where maybe you pass off tasks like a DIY, for instance, and you involve yourself to have checks along the way to make sure they're being done to your standard in a way that allows you to still be a little bit hands-off. The next point would be to work as a team. So again, whether that's working as a team with your support system around you, incorporate them where and when possible. But I think the most important team member in this entire journey leading up to your wedding day, and of course after that, is your partner, your spouse to be. Really prioritize ways that you can have them involved in the planning process. My brides, I know it's very easy to sometimes take on all of the planning yourself and just have your partner be coasting along the way. And sometimes they say they're just showing up for their wedding day and they honestly have no knowledge of how things came together. It is really nice to involve your partner along the way. One, because they feel a lot more involved, more engaged, and two, they can help you so much more than you think sometimes. Again, this is a celebration for the two of you, so you really want to have your preferences and your personalities meshed beautifully for your big day to show how you are as individual people, but also how you shine as a couple. And working as a team really means just prioritizing your relationship. Remember that the reason you are planning and doing any of this is because of the love that the two of you share and the journey that you want to continue on together. So remember that the root of this is your relationship. Don't let that slide during the planning process. Prioritize those date nights, prioritize that alone time, make time for conversations that do not involve any wedding related talk to again, stay present, stay in the moment. Remember what the foundation is for all of this. My husband and I kicked off our wedding month with a staycation to again, really get into the bride and groom mode, to let everything else be on the back burner for the weekend, and to again, have that intentional time together where we got a break from all the vendor calls and the family meetings and all of the hustle and bustle of life to pause, be present, and just feel all things love. And the week before our wedding, we made time for one last single date night. We went to a really beautiful restaurant for an intentional present dinner, very mindful, very demure. We wanted to just be with each other and again, not have all of the wedding talk seep into our conversations because it's very easy for that to become all that you talk about with your partner. Date night was just so special and it's something that we will always look back on and remember because it helps get your mind right, it helps manage those emotions, it helps you do a really thoughtful check-in with your partner and see how they're feeling, see how you're feeling, have those important conversations before the stress peaks and you're not able to sit down with each other much over the next few days. Do not let the romantic side of your relationship be on the back burner as you're stuck being partners through this planning process, and remember that your partner is in life too. And I've said this a ton in all of the points that I've been touching on already, but this needed a point of its own, and that is to be present. Being present in the moment roots from gratitude, and there's just so much to be grateful for, especially in a wedding planning process. There's so much love, so much time, money, energy, effort that goes into this from your side, from your partner's side, as well as from your loved ones. There is just so much love in the air in all different forms and aspects. Really just be present, soak in all the things to be grateful for because there's truly so much. For me, one of the harder adjustments was knowing that this whole thing was gonna have us at the focal point, all of the attention was going to be on us, and being people who like to socialize, like to be around people, love to celebrate, it felt a little odd having those celebrations be focused entirely on us, and the idea of doing a first dance in a room where everyone was sitting circled around us and just watching us dance in the middle of the floor was a little bit hard to accept and appreciate to me at first. But as my mindset started to shift and I really settled into the gratitude and the presence that I wanted to bring forward throughout these special celebrations, I realized that again, it was all rooted from love. All of these people were going to be in one room to watch us come together as a unit and start the next chapter of our beautiful story together. So at the end of the day, there may be elements to your wedding that at first put you off a little bit, but as you really shift your mindset and again, just soak in the presence and the gratitude that you have for all that is coming together to make this magical celebration come to life, you will appreciate it so much more. And that appreciation, that gratitude, that love will overflow out of you. The wedding planning process and your wedding celebrations themselves come and go so quickly, and while it can be tough to again adjust to the idea of being the center of attention for your big day, remember that these moments will not come back ever again. This experience is authentic and unique to itself, and you will not be able to live it again, so it's so important to soak any and every second out of it and really relish in all of the beautiful energy in the room. So really make sure you're not letting those distractions get in the way, you're not getting fixated in all the little shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and instead just going with the flow, really embracing all that comes and doing your best to be present in the moment. There may be hiccups along the way, there may be things on your itinerary that went differently in the actual plan, but ultimately, no one knows what was meant to happen other than you. And honestly, sometimes things weren't even meant to happen that way, which is why they play out differently. Remember that this day and these celebrations are special to all of your loved ones. Everyone that is attending, flying in from international places, they're in presence, in spirit. But the truth is that this day or these days are special for your loved ones but they are not nearly as special as they are for you. This is a special day for your people, but this is your day for you and your partner. It is very easy along the way to get caught up in the overwhelming feelings of wedding planning and wonder why you're doing this, or if you should have done it smaller, if you should have eloped. I cannot tell you how many times I have heard my clients, when you are in a room of so much love, the experience is so surreal, and trust me, you will enjoy it. So remember that the reason that you are doing any and all of this is because of the love that you share with your partner, and the fact that you want to be married, you want to go into the next phase of your life, to have a family, to make more memories together, to see the world and continue living a beautiful, fruitful life. Having those things be top of mind will make it so easy and almost just like second nature to be so grateful and present and just exude love as you are entering this next exciting chapter of your life. And that is it for today's video. I think those perspective shifts were absolutely key in helping me really appreciate my experience as a bride and just actually enjoy it. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have everything gone the way that it did. Being as involved as I was in my planning process was really special because, again, being on the other side of weddings for so long made this a really nice full circle experience. But if you are doing this for the first time, there's so much beauty and joy in the experience, and you are completely deserving of all of it. So really do your best to shake off all of those doubts or any sort of overwhelming feelings that you're experiencing, and remember that this is a celebration for you and the beautiful, beautiful story that you share with your partner. These are things that I have found to help my brides across the board, whether that's on the planning coordination side, hair and makeup side, irrespective of culture, religion, any of that. But I do have a lot of things that I can share speaking to the South Asian bridal experience specifically that I think can do wonders to help you be more present and enjoy your time as a bride. So if you would like me to make a video on that, let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss my next one. Congratulations again if you're a bride-to-be. This is such a beautiful chapter, so really, really enjoy it as best as you can. Thanks again for watching. I will be back very soon, and until I see you guys next time, take care. Bye.